Okay, our next test is going to be checking the accuracy of the fluidic system. So we have a test cassette that's dry. It has not been used with any fluid in it. You want to make sure there's no fluid in the cassette because your readings will be off. Of course, we have our digital pressure meter, and we have a special set of tubings hooked up to our fittings. And if you look at the diagram, you'll see exactly how this works. But let's plug the cassette in now, and we have our irrigation line. Oh, that's interesting. We have a calibration failure. So this is a good thing. There's something with this particular cassette that's not working properly. What you want to check is to make sure that your QR code is visible, and there might be some debris in that screen. So let me get that little wipe here, and I'm going to make sure that this window is clear. So let's try that again. I'll clear the error. And that was it. So there was a problem, and typically that little window is going to cause you a lot of headaches because a little BSS gets sprayed during the surgical case, and that will block the reading of the QR code. And it could also block the accurate measurements of the laser against the metal plates that are in the cassette for measuring the pressure. So we have our cassette in, it's accepted. We do not need to spike the bag because we're going to be clamping that off, which we have this on here. So our irrigation line to the IV bag is disconnected. Our two lines coming for the patient connections to the phaco handpiece are now connected to our special test line here. We have a syringe that's going to give us the vacuum and pressure, and then this connection here will go to our digital pressure meter. The digital pressure meter should go to at least 700 millimeters of mercury for vacuum. So as I power it up here, I'm going to make sure that we're in the millimeters of mercury, and we are. So this is set up. The next thing we do is that we want to press the open button. So now I'm open between the irrigation and the vacuum side of the cassette. I'll take my syringe, put a little air in here, and as I compress it, you can see that our numbers are changing. That means I'm adding pressure, and it should correlate with our digital pressure meter. So the values that we're going to do, the first one is 200 millimeters of mercury. So I press that all the way till I get 200 on our digital pressure meter. And mind you, I'm not exact, so 199 or 200, 201, but notice that it copies exactly what the number is on my digital pressure meter. So if I'm at, let's say 182, and it says 182 on the screen, you know you're close. So that's the goal. So 200 is what they request. Here I'm at 200, 197, 198, 200. So my readings are 20. Let me get it back to 202, 201. So we're at it's almost identical. So that passes. Then our next test is I'm going to remove the excess pressure, evacuate it. So now I have a vacuum. Now I'm going to pull vacuum levels. So we're going to have 60, 100, 60, 200, 400, and 600. And if you can't reach the 600, just pull as max value that you can and record that. What I like to do is pull the max in the beginning and then release it as I go down. So here I got 482 on my pressure meter and 476 on the screen. It's within 20%. Then I'll drop it down to 400. So at 400 on my digital pressure meter, roughly I got 393 and 392. Now I'll drop it down to 300, and we're 305, 304, and then I'll drop it down to 200. And we're 197, 198 my meter, 201 and 200. Look at that, 200, 200, and 199. Very close. And then we drop it down to 100. And there were 104 and 103 and 102 on the screen, very close. And then we'll just go to 50, just to show you all the different ranges you can go to. And there I'm at 57, and I'm 55 and 55, or actually 56, 55, and 55. So what we've proven is that both pressure reading devices are working properly. The key again is the cassette is a dry cassette. It's not a cassette that's been used previously. And what I do is I keep this cassette and use it for maybe a dozen times. And if the numbers are really looking strange, then I get a brand new cassette and I pop it in and repeat the tests. So that concludes the pressure readings for the irrigation and the vacuum sensors.